Welcome to Bronze and Modern Gods. I'm John, and that's Richard.
Hi, John. How are you?
I'm doing well. So much today. We've got comic book auction sites, pros and cons. Have you ever bought from a comic book auction site before? Have you ever been interested in it? We're going to walk you through all the different aspects of it. You may be surprised, so stick around. We also have our 25-year rule book, aka the book that finally broke me and caused me to quit collecting for years. What could it be? Man,
Ooh.
underrated books of the week. But let's get going, Richard. You take the hot book of the week. What is it?
The hot book this week is Joker #2. That's out just this week. The first appearance of Vengeance, the daughter of Bane. The book is selling really well. It's selling above ratio for all of the incentive covers, and it seems to really have hit a nerve.
Yeah, there's also a one per store surprise drop that came out that on release day. Prior to release day, it was going for $250 on eBay. The regular A covers fetching anywhere from $15 to $18 as of this recording. So people seem to be responding to this. It's just another new Bat character. We've had what? Punchline, Clown Hunter, Miracle Molly.
Yeah, it's starting to feel manufactured to me.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, it's like this, or DC says, "Wow, our sales are dipping. Let's come up with a new first appearance," and all of a sudden, here's this character. I can't
but
say Marvel's innocent of that either, though.
for sure. But people like James Tynion. He's a great writer. He seems to be hitting all the right notes. So there may be something to this. I'm still waiting for the big Clown Hunter wave to sweep over the nation. Punchline jury still out, or do we have a decision on Punchline? Do we have a verdict?
I think Punchline is here to stay.
Yeah.
I think at this point she has persisted long enough to be more than just a one and done. But I don't think she'll ever eclipse Harlequin.
No, but that 1 in 25 sketch variant of Punchline where she was introduced is still doing gangbusters on the secondary market. So Vengeance, daughter of Bane, does she do roids?
She'd have to, wouldn't she?
I mean, isn't that what Bane is about?
I just can't see Bane being the fatherly figure.
Well, I haven't read the book. Was he a doting dad? No, was he an absentee father? I'm betting on that. Where I wonder what happened to. I thought this was going to be a big character, and he just kind of was one and done in the Batman universe when we were reading the book. Do you remember the KG Beast?
No, no.
Jim Starlin was writing the book, and he was like a Russian operative, the KG Beast, and he kind of dressed like a leather daddy. It was very, very fetishy and weird, but it was a great storyline. But he just seems to have never been used again. If you guys know if KG Beast has ever come back, let us know in the comments. And let us know what you think of Vengeance as well. Is this something you care about?
Yeah, it's a good question. Marvel has dallied with introducing characters like they introduced Wolverine's daughter for one issue of Marvel Presents, and then they never really did anything with her. So
Yeah.
it's they do this to spike sales, and I don't know if they have any long-term plans for this character.
We'll see. Like I said, leave us a comment, shoot us a DM, follow us on Instagram at Bronze and Modern Gods, on Facebook as well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. If you haven't liked one of our videos, please do that for us. We appreciate it. And just a reminder, the notification bell lets you know when our bonus episodes go live. We had one drop out of the blue Friday evening at 7 p.m. I was really happy to see so many people in the live chat on a Friday night.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I did not feel as alone on a Friday night. All you guys. So thanks for that. Time for our main topic this week. Comic book auction houses. How do they work? Are they worth it? The pros, the cons. We're going to break it down for you because you know about Instagram live sales. We've talked about that. Of course, you know about eBay. Of course, you know about your local LCS, comic shows. But you have some of these different comic book auction houses that live on websites. I sound like my dad explaining the internet to someone. They live on these things called the interwebs. But you may have heard of them: Heritage Auctions, Comic Link, Comic Connect, mycomicshop.com. And we have some tips for you from our experiences. I say that with trepidation, Richard.
Yeah, both John and I have had sticker shock from some of our recent auction purchases. Yeah, it's
Let's go through the pros first. Tell us some pros.
probably one of the biggest pros is that these auction houses bring the big boys out to play. So if you're selling a book, it's a great place to sell because the buyers that are showing up to these auctions are for the most part vetted. I mean, they will have the means to purchase your Hulk 181, as opposed to maybe a 15-year-old on eBay who just does a bid just because he wants to and then can't afford to pay it if they win. The auction houses are much more reliable source for sellers.
And if you're a buyer, they're actually good as well, because you're not going to find many Fantastic Four #1s or Amazing Fantasy 15s on eBay or during an IG live sale. You're just not. It happens, but it's very rare, and it's a big deal when it does happen. But these people hold on to these mega keys, and they maximize their profits through these auction houses. So it's an easy way to find tougher books, and that's why I only use them, frankly.
Yes, if you're looking for some of those high dollar books, just like the sellers have the confidence that the buyers are vetted, as a buyer, you can be more confident in people who are selling on Heritage, for example, that that they actually have the book that they're listing.
Right.
If you buy on eBay and some of those other sites, you have a greater opportunity to be scammed than you do on Heritage or My Comic Shop. So definitely, I think the confidence level in the transaction is stronger on these sites.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy with definite security and ease. Once you get approved, you do have to get vetted a little bit. You have to prove you are who you are. You've got decent credit if you're using a credit card. Most of them do require that. So one thing I would tell you is get pre-approved on the sites well before the auction goes live that you want to bid on. Nothing is more frustrating than, I don't know, I'm just going to use a recent example, a Heritage auction, when everything goes kablooey during the auction and no one is getting approved. And I'm sending emails to customer service saying, I was approved, now I'm not approved, what's going on? They had to reboot a whole bunch of auctions a couple of weekends ago because of technical issues. So if you don't do what I did, get it pre-approved the first time, and then you don't have to worry about it after that. So, cons. Shall we say it together on the count of three?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Fees.
So, let me give you an example. Marvel Boy #2. Hey, look, there's little Quasar with his little hot pants. So I wanted to buy this book. I've been looking for 1 and 2 for a while. I saw a 5.0 of #2 on Heritage. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go for it. My maximum bid was $450 for a 5.0 because the GPA was around 460 or so. And I thought, I'll go up to here and that's it. So I got very excited when I won it for $380. I thought, wow, okay, good. Now, I know there's a buyer's premium. That's what they call the additional fees that the auction house collects for themselves. They're not doing this out of the goodness of their heart. They want to make some money too. So I'm going to walk you through my invoice. The subtotal, $380. The buyer's premium was $76. Fine, fair enough. So that is a total of $456. Now, services and handling. This is packing the book, shipping the book, the postage, the insurance. That was $20.97. It's a slab, right? That's not outrageous. I mean, if you ship a slab in a medium USPS flat rate box, it's $15.65. So you add some insurance on that, $6. Great, not the end of the world. Sales tax, and I live in Southern California. Sales tax here is 10.25%. Thanks, Obama.
Jeez, oh man.
So
Wow.
sales tax was $48.89. My new total was $525.86 on a $380 book. But wait, Richard, there's more. I used a credit card because I wanted to earn some American Airlines miles on it, right? Why not? Payments by credit card are subject to a 2.5% surcharge. Now, I'm fine with the buyer's premium. I'm fine with the shipping and handling. I have to be fine with the sales tax. I don't have a choice. I'm not fine with paying their credit card processing fees. If you are a major company that accepts credit cards and your heritage and you do multi-million-dollar auctions every month, you know what? You can eat the 2.5% credit card fee. Because what if you went to Best Buy and you bought a widescreen TV and they said, oh, you're using your credit card? All right, we're going to add an extra 2.5% to that. You would think they're like the local Arco down the street trying to. It's tacky, right?
It is. It's like we do when we sell a high dollar book, we typically just roll the shipping in because it's just part of the cost of business. Right.
You want to keep a customer happy. And this happened. Richard and I were bidding on separate books at the same time, IMing each other. I said it this week. Texting each other. And we were both like, after we got our fees and everything, both of us separately came together and said, I'm never buying from Heritage again. I'm not.
No, it's unless it is something that you have no other recourse. Can I share my auction? I also bought a book. I actually bought 2 books during that auction, but that's not the story I want to tell. John contacted me before this auction ran about a couple of months ago at this point, 3 months ago, and told me one of the books that's one of my grails, which is Marvel Family Comics, #1, first appearance of Black Adam. I am a Black Adam fan, as you will see later on. So this book doesn't come up very often. This is a Golden Age book from 1945. It is a hard book to come by. So it was showing up at this auction house. So I applied to the auction house. I registered. The bid was at the time like $1,200. It was some low number. This book is easily $5,000-6,000 book by any accounts. But it was raw is one of the problems. So I was a little concerned about that. I did not look. I was so excited. I did not look closely enough at what the buyer's premium was.
Yes.
So I set the maximum bid as at the top of the amount of money I was willing to spend, $3,500. So that was the cap. That was all the money that I wanted to spend on this thing, right? So I won the book. Here it is right here. Beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. I was so excited about getting this book until I got the invoice for the book. So let me read my invoice. John read his. So the auction itself, the book was $3,500. That's what I won the auction. The buyer's premium was $630. Is a 20% premium.
Holy moly.
On top of that, there was a $289 tax. We're around 8%, 7.5% here in Ohio.
I need to move.
No, you don't. You are where you belong.
Go ahead.
So the grand total for this $3,500 book is now $4,419.
Your wife's not in the room, is she?
No.
Okay, good. Go on.
And that does not include shipping. They handle their shipping through a different firm. Yeah. So yeah, that's the complete sticker shot, $1,000. Now some of that's tax. and that's like John says, that's just something that you have to accept. But the buyer's premium is such um, an addition to what what your overall expenses are. You really need to factor that in.
Yeah,
And some sites do a good job in doing that. They will, Heritage, for example, as you're bidding on a book, they'll show you what your bid is, and
right.
then they'll show you what your bid is with the premium, so that you can kind of level set and keep your eye on what your real budget's going to be. Uh,
Now, the thing about Heritage, I will give them credit. The book shipped lightning fast. They have everything in house. So
yes,
the minute you win it, and you pay for it, it's out the door and you get it fairly quickly. Some other sites, Comic Link, they're hosting third party stuff. So
mhm,
you win the book, they have to contact the buyer or the seller. The seller gets paid. You got to wait for them to ship it to Comic Link. Comic Link then ships it to you. It's a whole thing. So there are sometimes I bought from Comic Link and I've had to wait 3-4 weeks to get the book. So I am going to give Heritage props for the fast shipping. But you and I have the same straw that broke both of our backs, but in different ways. Heritage, buyer's premium, shipping, blah, blah, blah. The 2.5 credit card processing thing is such an insult that was my breaking point. Like, nope, done with you. I'm done
right,
with you. Your breaking point on the Bullock auctions, we can just call it what it is, right?
right.
Is the their 20% buyer's premium.
20%. Now I've heard, I used to be, well, I'm still into cars. So some of the auction sites that do cars, they do 10% to the buyer, 10% to the seller.
Mhm.
And that to me sounds kind of fair. You still get your 20%, but you're not gouging the buyer for the privilege of taking the book. But no, it is something that you have to take into account. Now, this book, um, it's very rare. I mean, there are a couple of copies out on eBay. There's a 3.5 on eBay right now, and they're asking $10,000 for it. So yeah, it's to get an opportunity to get this book. Um, it's worth a premium, but I don't know if that premium is 20% worth it.
My $380 book, I am now almost $200 underwater in it. I mean, I would have to sell this for $550 to get what I paid for it and a little change. That's
Right.
it. And that, to me, it's not worth it. It's just not.
No, I mean, I would never buy like a Thor 337, or a common book. You can get that through other sources for less of a premium.
Yeah.
Uh, it's the books like that Marvel family that are rarer to come across, especially raw, in that condition. Um, so yeah, if you're going to use an auction house, make sure first of all you go there with your eyes open, wide open, and understand what the fees are going to be before you place the bid. Because once you get in the bidding situation, it gets all heated,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you gets all excited, and you start raising your cap because you're not factoring in that premium into the overall cost. And then once that fervor is over with, you look and you see, well, geez, I'm over my budget by X amount of dollars because I didn't take into account that buyer's premium. So go into this with your eyes open.
Adrenaline definitely takes over, and in my case it did as well, and it shouldn't have, and that's my fault. It's also my fault for not reading the fine print. I
Mhm.
should have read every single possible thing. If I had seen that 2.5% credit card processing fee ahead of time, I probably would have felt better about it a little bit. I wouldn't feel good about it. I still don't, but at least I would have known about it. But seeing it on this invoice kind of buried, it just is like a twist of the knife. I
Mhm.
did not like that. Now, I'm saying never again. Now watch next week. They're going to put up a yellow claw #1. I'm going to be like, "Ah."
Yeah, but the thing about it is you can, for those high dollar kinds of books like Yellow Claw #1, there are some opportunities that come up because one of the problems with, or one of the advantages of these auction houses is you have a very targeted market. But if the people who are interested in that particular category of book are sleeping or not engaged, you can sneak some real deals in there, because for a yellow call number one, there may be, there are certain people who would be directly competing with you, but it's a smaller pool than, let's say, eBay in terms of overall eyeballs. So yeah, you can win out and get a deal, but again, you got to factor in those premiums.
You gotta do your homework. We're here to help. Let us know in the comments if we missed anything. Let us know if you have any questions, because we always take these questions on a segment we call Viewer Mail.
You've got mail.
And there's no viewer mail today.
John purged it.
There's no viewer mail on Mondays anymore, because viewer mail is now being handled on our bonus episodes. We have a second bonus episode that goes live every week now. The only way you're going to know when it goes live is if you hit that notification bell and you get notified here on YouTube. And if you listen to us on the podcast platform, you should have your notifications on your phone set to let you know when new podcasts go live. So look for viewer mail there. And gosh, no one in viewer mail, Richard, has given me any new segues for the 25-year rule. So that is my segue for the 25-year rule. This is one I've been waiting to do since we hit 1996 4 months ago.
Oh, I have felt the approaching doom. So why don't you go into the book that broke you?
I started collecting comic books in 1973. Yes, you heard that right. To the person who on last week's bonus episode said that they were looking for a book when they were a kid in 2007. I started collecting in 1973. I was 5 years old, and I found a copy of Captain America 156 on the playground. And it changed me forever. I love Captain America. He is my all-time favorite superhero. Since that day in 1973, I have bought every single issue of Captain America. Month in, month out, come rain, come shine, come great writers like Steve Gerber, Jack Kirby, Steve Englehart, Mark Waid, through bad writers. Well, I wouldn't say bad, through not as good writers as Mike Carlin, J.M.D. Matias, people like that. Then came the day in 1996 when Marvel announced Captain America, Iron Man, the Fantastic Four, and the Avengers were being canceled to make way for an initiative called Heroes Reborn, where some of the Image Comics founders would then take over those books, revitalizing them for a new generation. One of those books, as I said, was Captain America. And the creative person put in charge of Captain America, kicking off the stellar creative team of Mark Waid and Ron Garney, was Robert Liefeld. Jeez. This image on your screen now was used to promote Captain America Heroes Reborn. You'll notice Captain America's full, lumptuous breasts. You'll notice the just incredibly impossible anatomy, beyond impossible. I saw this and thought to myself, oh my, this is not Ron Garney. I got the first issue of Captain America #1 by Rob Liefeld, Jeff Loeb, and Chuck Dixon. I took it home. I looked through it. I would say I read it, but it took maybe 3 minutes to read. I promptly shredded it into a billion pieces. No lie, I ripped a comic book up. I've never done that in my life before nor since. And I said to myself, well, I guess I'm not buying Captain America anymore. And I did not. And the fact that I was no longer going to the shop every month to pick up Captain America meant that I wasn't going to pick up Daredevil anymore. I wasn't going to pick up Love and Rockets anymore. All the books I was still buying, I just gave it up. I then took all of my comics, all 42 long boxes that I had left, and I sold them all. I sold them all to a local shop in Lakewood, Ohio. I believe it was called B&L Comics. I think that was the name of it.
Yes, B&L.
Yeah, and that was it. No more. I am a man now. I'm moving on. I bought a 1996 Ford Ranger pickup truck that was purple. Do you remember that truck?
Yes, I do. I didn't know you funded that with your comic
Did
books.
that with my funny book money. All right. Why did Captain America #1 by Rob Liefeld break me? Well, look at it.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
now
yeah.
that you know why, let's move on to what this book is now doing on the secondary market. It's actually seeing a pickup because of one thing, and that is it is the first appearance of a character named Ricky Barnes, who was the new female Bucky. So wait, he swapped out a male sidekick with a female sidekick? That is so edgy and original, Frank Miller, Dark Knight Returns. Um, Great, Rob. There are 6 variant covers for this book. Great. The 90-day average sale for a 9.8 is $128. That's up from $62 last year. There's rumors about Ricky Barnes being something. I don't know. I couldn't care. I could not possibly care less. Do I hate Rob Liefeld? No, I do not. Do I slam Rob Liefeld completely for forever because of this? I do not. I think Rob Liefeld brings energy to the page. I think I get why kids like him. It's he's an acquired taste that much like Jack Kirby. People couldn't
Mhm,
stand Jack Kirby back in the day. People thought Jack was Jack the Hack.
mhm.
Uh,
Or Bill Sienkiewicz too. I
Bill
mean, he's an
Sienkiewicz,
acquired.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get it. I just don't like what happened to my favorite character of all time. So that's why I'm spewing it all out here today because I want to get it out of my system.
Okay. Now I know, as a completionist, have you replaced that Captain America one that you shredded?
Absolutely not. I do not
Wow.
have a copy of any of those issues in my collection.
So
Now, if I ran across a set at a show or something, I might pick it up. I mean, it's not like they're going to touch my book like mold and spread. No, not at all. I have a much more. It's what 1996, 25 years ago. If I haven't grown and changed in 25 years, something's wrong with me. You know?
No, right, right. And it's interesting. People have that kind of reaction to Rob's work. Um, you either love it or you just can't handle it. And frankly, I've never been impressed by his anatomy. But
Mhm.
like you do say, he brings a certain energy to the book. Just like Bill Sienkiewicz, I don't care for his style, but I understand where he's trying to go.
Yeah.
Um, and the same thing with Rob. So
I liked Rob Liefeld when he first hit the scene. I really did. He did a miniseries for Hawk and Dove for DC. That was his first mainstream work. It was great. It was exciting. It was new. It was different. It was Art Adams-ish. It was very
mhm.
Art Adams-ish. Uh, Carl Kessel has a lot to do with that. It's the inker, I think. Then he took over New Mutants, a book that I was reading from issue 1 that had really gone to the dogs. I mean, it
Mhm.
was you had characters like Bird Boy. You had like Cypher dying on a bird island. I don't know, whatever that story was. It was horrible. And Rob Liefeld comes on and just gives the book a good swift kick in the keister. And it really energized that book and it
Mhm.
made it readable again. This was this was not chocolate and peanut butter, two great tastes that taste great together. It was not a Reese's.
Maybe a Reese's Monkey Cup, but yeah.
Oh yeah. I know I spent the first half of this segment just completely trashing the guy, but I also think looking at his GI Joe stuff that he's doing now for IDW, I like it. I like his
Mhm.
variant covers. Sometimes there's one like the Venom cover that just came out with Deadpool where you're like, okay, that's the Rob I know.
No,
Uh,
he's definitely matured as an artist. I think he's taken some of the criticism he's gotten to heart and has improved his overall anatomy. But yeah, he's not the same artist as he was when they first started Image.
And I do like his podcast. It's interesting. It's fun. He loves the same stuff you and I do, like classic Avengers, Bronze Age runs, and things like that. He has such a love for comics that I don't want to sit here and just be like Rob Liefeld. Nah, nah, nah. That's too obvious. People have shades of gray, including
Mhm.
our buddy Rob.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, our underrated books of the week. Richard, you teased it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, a book came out in February of this year called Black Adam #1: The Endless Winter Special. This book, the A cover is okay.
Hmm.
The real show, the real book is the B cover. This is a white cover with Black Adam in a snowstorm. His cape is flowing behind him. It's a very, very spectacular cover. It sat there and languished for a while. And then in the last couple of weeks, we've seen it go from a $10 to $20 book. Now it's last week, it spiked to over $100. And I'm not really sure the cause of the spike. People are concerned that it's artificial and that the book will go down in value. And definitely it has.
You think?
Um,
I think it's just a great cover. People just didn't know about it because of
I
everything that happened last year around February.
Right. No, I think that's why it's my pick.
Yeah.
I think the value has gone, the price has gone down temporarily. It was selling for 100. You can still see some listings for 150, people being aspirational
Mhm.
on eBay. But you can also find it for 40 bucks, 35 bucks. And to me, this is a perfect opportunity to buy because this is the kind of cover. When I first saw this cover, the first thing I thought of was Thor 337, the first cover appearance of Beta Ray Bill. It's
Yeah.
that same striking pose on a white background. And that book, that Beta Ray Bill cover, now is $1,000 book. While I think it's this book spiked because people were really excited about the cover, and now that there is no real news about Black Adam, I think it's falling a little bit. But as soon as we see a trailer and we actually see The Rock, who has been training for over a year for this particular role, once we see him in costume and we get that excitement, there aren't a lot of other real standout covers that represent um, Black Adam. I listed a couple. There is Black Adam #1, which is an Alex Ross cover where he's standing looking up and there's lightning shooting around him. It is a gorgeous cover. It is by far my favorite cover for Black Adam. And then there is JSA 23, which is another Alex Ross cover where it's a black background and he's basically illuminating the scene with lightning in his hand, and it's an awesome cover. That one's cheap. The other Alex Ross cover is expensive now. It's going for about $500-600 as CGC 9.8. The JSA 23 cover is still only like $12 raw, so you could still pick that up.
That JSA run has so many iconic Alex Ross
Yes.
covers, and everyone's sleeping on that JSA run. Even if you don't read it, every cover is a home run.
Yeah, if you liked Kingdom Come and his style there, you want to check out that run because it is just some phenomenal covers. So but other than those two covers, I'm hard pressed to think of another really exciting Black Adam cover.
Mhm.
So this is an opportunity to get in on the ground floor before we have that energy from the trailer and the movie and all the scuttlebutt coming around the movie as we approach the premiere. So now is the opportunity to buy this book. And I think 40 bucks is a great investment. It's an
Yeah.
awesome cover. It's a gorgeous cover. Um, it's already been slabbed. There's 10 on the census right now at 9.8. I have a 9.8 slab.
I was gonna say, are you one of those 10? You've got to be.
Yeah, of course I am. Now I am biased because I am hardcore and I'm an anti-hero guy. I love Black Adam, Doctor Doom, Namor, all those complex characters. And I think if The Rock really plays this character well, and the signs are he really is taking this role seriously. And if this movie really takes off, these covers I think are the Thor 337 of Black Adam, and I think you'll be happy with the returns that you get from
Black Adam for president 2024.
it. That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
That's a good one. I think that, like we said, that book came out last February, and that was right before everything started closing down and comic shops were really hit hard early on. So I think if you start going through long boxes at your local LCS, you might find this one hiding in there. And that may be why the prices are fluctuating, because people are going back and looking and finding these in bins. So go look.
Pick it up. You can't, in my opinion, it's rife for an explosion at some point once we get more Black Adam news.
Kaboom. All right. My pick this week is Agents of Atlas #1.
Yeah.
No, that's too obvious. Although that book is blowing up right now, Richard, as you sent a message to me earlier today.
Yes, we're seeing real increases in price over that, and I'm really curious to find out what's causing that momentum.
I did movie spec. I think 100% people are like the whole Asian market, the China deal with Marvel. I think people are just assuming that Shang-Chi is going to start leading into this. Jimmy Woo appearing in WandaVision. I mean, it doesn't telegraph any harder.
That's true.
This is Agents of Atlas #1, the first miniseries from 2006. Now, what is this? There's a reason why the other book is called New Agents of Atlas, because there was an old Agents of Atlas. This is the old Agents of Atlas. This was a story about the reformation of a 1950s super team that was led by Jimmy Woo back in the day. And they are now in the present Marvel universe. Gorilla Man, the Living Robot, Marvel Boy, and another favorite of mine, Venus, the Goddess of Love. This was the first actual Agents of Atlas team that was led by Jimmy Woo. And they had a 6-issue miniseries. They had an ongoing series. They had several spin-off miniseries. Agents of Atlas versus the Avengers, Agents of Atlas versus the X-Men, you name it. They never met the Thunderbolts. That would have been good. So I think if New Agents of Atlas continues to take off, people are going to start gravitating towards this mini, because it is the first Agents of Atlas title proper. Don't forget about What If #9, which is the actual first appearance of the Agents of Atlas. They weren't called that then. They were called the 1950s Avengers, but that's that first appearance of that group. I've got several. All right. A GPA for a 9.6, which is the only sale reflected in this book in GPA, was for $89 last October. It was not mine. But that tells me that there's no activity around this book right now. Total sleeper. I would say get it to read it. It's so good. Jeff Parker writes such a good story, and the art's great. The story's great, and you want to see the origins of Jimmy Woo and his Agents of Atlas team. This is the place to look.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I can't wait to see what they do with Jimmy Woo. I think, like you said, they're telegraphing pretty hard during WandaVision. So
Yeah.
once we see him in Shang-Chi, it's going to kind of cascade from that point, and we'll see him in more. Good for that actor too, because he's a good actor. So I'm looking forward to see him making some coin.
All right, that's going to do it for us for this episode. Make sure you join us later this week for our bonus episode. Hit that like, notification bell, subscription button, review, blah, blah, blah. Richard, what else do people need to do? They need to do what?
They need to like and subscribe on Facebook and Instagram up there at Bronze and Modern Gods, as well as our website, bronzeandmoderngods.com.
I promise I will update the website this week. If you've gone there and you went, hey, why are you telling me to go here?
Why are you requiring Flash?
Yeah, no, it's not that bad. We will see you later on this week. Bye, everybody.
Everybody stay safe.